Hi there, Bluegal here, and today is show and tell. I have been on Zoom. It feels like all day today. Uh, there was a Modern Daily Knitters did a Zoom call to announce their new yarn called Jane, and then an hour later, the Knit Stars people did a Zoom call about knitting faster. That was very informative. And tonight, Laura Nelkin is going to do a Zoom call about Cowl-Tober and knitting cowls together, which is very timely because my show and tell today is showing you the cowls that I have knit this year. I've knit 5 cowls and crocheted 1 scarf, all in preparation for going on the Grocery Girls cruise in September. And I did this as a project in order to keep my brain in my skull while I'm waiting. I had booked this in April, and I knew that I was just going to lose my mind if I didn't keep busy and still thinking about the cruise and preparing for the cruise. It has been a long time since I've gone on some sort of trip just for me. It's been a really long time. I was divorced in 2008 and a single mom for a while, and then got remarried, and we was really poor. And to be able to do this, I came into a little bit of money this year, and it was decided that we would set this aside for me to do something like this. And it's just, I'm so happy that I'm able to do this. But also just so excited that I thought, okay, I've got to do something cruise oriented that keeps me busy and keeps me focused and allows me to think about the cruise all the time without losing my mind and going overboard. So this wasn't to show off. It was just to keep my fingers busy and also think about the cruise all the time. And so I knit a cowl for each of the teachers that is going to be on the ship, and also one for each of the grocery girls. And the crocheted scarf is one of the teachers as well. So because that teacher is teaching a crochet and color class, I did a crocheted color project, and I'll show that to you as well. So show and tell. And again, getting ready for Cowl-Tober. How fun is that? I'm sure I'll be participating in knitting a cowl because I love knitting cowls. They're fun, and they don't take a long time, and they're a way to experiment with color and texture and all kinds of techniques that you might not want to commit a whole sweater to doing, but you can experiment with a smaller project that you can finish and wear. So this is the first one I did, April, May. This is the Modern Colorwork Cowl by Mary Jane Mucklestone, stranded knitting goddess. And I knit this in everything. By the way, everything I knit is in stash. I used my stash to knit this. This is some Cloudborn fibers, RIP Cloudborn, Highland fingering, and her pattern is in worsted, and I redesigned it to use the charts and knit it in fingering weight wool. And it turned out really nice. I'm really happy with this. And again, this is, a sampler of different stranded colorwork motifs. And it just doesn't get boring. You just keep going, and you can wear it either way, and it's just very, very pretty and turned out great. So that was the first one. Then the next one I knit is the Mariposa cowl, which is quite a bit heavier weight yarn. This is by Lorilee Beltman. And she's going to be teaching a class on inserting color. I don't know how you do it, but inserting color vertically. And so that'll be fun. This is a cabled cowl called Mariposa, the Mariposa cowl. And I knit this in, if you have watched the earlier episode of my podcast, that is I Knit Dead People. This is from that legendary stash from Marianne's legendary stash. So this is Southwest Trading Company Karaoke. It's a single ply. The color is Mermaid Mix. I used almost 2 skeins, and I was very careful to make sure that the color as it progressed matched as I went through and changed from one skein to another. I was really careful about that. This is a nice, fun knit. I really liked those cables. They're easy to do, easy to remember. That was a fun one. Then I knit the the third teacher. I'll do these out of order. This is the latest one that I finished because it's crochet. I just thought, oh, I have all the time in the world to make this one. Then I realized, oh, I really need to finish this one. This is the Okapi Shawl by Vincent Williams. And Vincent Williams does amazing crochet work and beautiful shawls. And I am to the point where I don't wear big triangle shawls. My frame I don't like to wear them. So this is it's basically a half granny square, which I had never made before. I made lots of granny squares, but I'd never made a half granny square. And his instructions are so clear as to how to make sure that these granny squares lie flat. And so I use this is Malabrigo. And then this is 2 strands. The solid blue is 2 strands, one of some leftover silk. And then I had some really pretty crappy blue, bright blue single ply wool that had knots in it and was a mess. And I thought, okay, I'm going to find a way to use some of that and strand it with the silk and make it nice. And so, and it was lace weight, both the silk and the crappy knotted stuff was lace weight. So I stranded those together, and I made 3 Okapi triangles with stopping at round 16. And then I sewed them together, one triangle going this way, one triangle going upside down, and then the other one at the end. And so it goes around your neck as a scarf. And very drapey. So I really like this. This is very wearable. I'll get a lot of use out of this because it's a year-round thing. It's light enough and drapey enough. I can wear it. These other ones are heavy in winter, and that's great. But this one I'll be able to wear many, many more months out of the year. Then I made 2 cowls by the Grocery Girls. And out of stash, this is Jodi Brown's Frankenbeans cowl. And I had 2 skeins of bulky wool in my stash that coordinated. And that's the only bulky I owned. And I used it. I used all of it to make this. So this is a lot narrower than the pattern calls for, but I just used up the yarn that I had. And it's called Frankenbeans. And I'm linking all of these below to my Ravelry projects. So if someone wants to see them, very fun, slip stitch, easy, but keeps your interest pattern. And using a solid and a variegated, I don't know if you can see how there is some of that red purple in the variegated skein that's in there. Kept my interest the whole time. And just a very fun little slip stitch, and in a bulky weight, knit really fast, and fun knit, just a fun knit. The other Grocery Girl is Tracie Millar, and this is her Autumn Stripes. The version that she knit is pink and I want to say like beigeish, silvery beige. Very pretty and pastel, and looks great on her. I can't wear those colors. So I did this one, which is various fingering weight, 3 colors, purple. The problem is camera does not do these colors justice. This is a rich teal, bright purple, and this is a olive mustard blend. And you just can't see it if you don't see it face to face. I'm really sorry that this doesn't pick up on camera, but this is a sampler cowl that has, lace work, regular stripes, basket weave, slip stitch, cabling, and ribbing at either end. And, it's a really long cowl, but it's light because it's fingering weight, and the pattern calls for fingering weight. It's very drapey, and it's pretty. It's just fun. So I'll get wear out of this as well. It's my colors, and it's pretty, and it's bright. And talk about a fun knit. I put on I let the knitters know who are going on this cruise that this was the one that was the most fun to knit, just because of all of the variety in the pattern. Just one after the other of something interesting to keep you going. So that was just a lot of fun. And finally, the ship that we are going to be on is a Holland America ship. And Holland America has, for every cruise, an orange party. And so I took some Red Heart Super Saver and made an orange cowl that I just designed myself. This is on Ravelry. I put in the notes for this, what stitches I use, but it's ribbing and seed, and then stockinette with a little purl bump and a purl bump row, and then do the seed and the ribbing again. It's not anything complicated. And that's for the orange party, Holland America. If I go on more Holland America cruises in the future, this will be part of my wardrobe, because they have a party where everyone wears orange in honor of the Netherlands and the king and so forth. And so they have an orange party, and that's Red Heart Super Saver, knit something quick, and that's my orange party. Cowl. So that's show and tell. I wanted to invite everyone who would like to join in a little project that I'm starting for 2025. I have set up a Ravelry group for finishing UFOs, for finishing unfinished objects in 2025. And it is a goal setting. It's to help support one another as we learn to use our stash more wisely. And so I've done, with the help of Bing AI and a lot of Photoshop, I've done a little logo. This is 2025, the year of UFOs, finish your frog. And my thought is that if you decide to frog, that means rip it. That means to rip it out and start over. If you decide to frog a project that just doesn't serve you anymore, that is as much of a victory as finishing something. The point is to knit wisely and use your stash and your time wisely, and to make decisions and not leave things sitting in a closet, because that's guilt. And I don't like doing guilt. I just don't. So the idea here is finish your frog. And there's a link below to the Ravelry group. Everyone's invited to join. It's just a group to get the ball rolling as to what you have started. And there are very few rules about it. As I said in one of the chat rooms there, I said, if you think that because you swatched something, that's a UFO, fine. If you think, no, I just swatched it, I didn't decide to make it, that's not a UFO, fine too. If you decide you're only going to finish blankets that you started, I thought to myself as I was putting this together, great, Fran, you're going to be knitting sleeves and blankets all year long. And that's pretty much true. Sleeve Island is a place where a lot of us get stuck. So, and I have blankets. I have blankets that other people have given me to finish, and it's for church charity. So I'm glad to do it, but having that sitting in my closet. I really should just finish or frog those things. So join in if you like. One of the goals here for getting ready for this, for getting ready for January in the year of UFOs, is I am cleaning up my Ravelry queue, cleaning up my projects, making sure every project has a photograph, making sure that my UFOs are also on Ravelry in my queue ready to go for January, and that there's a photo. And where I'm not able to put a photo yet, I'm using this, and this is on there. This digital image is on the channel, is on the group page. So you can feel very free to use this in your project page. You have my total permission. If you need to put that in there as a placeholder, that's great. And so we're also using the hashtag 2025 year of UFOs. And that's all in there. All the information is in there, and the link is below. So enjoy that. And then exciting news is, folks, we have the new pussyhat for next year. So exciting. This is Joy Patriotic Hat by Michele Woodford. Link is below to both the pattern, which is a free pattern, and also my version to come. I've got a project page already set up to knit this. And I have a couple of caveats about this one, though. The original pussy hats were knit primarily in, Karen Simply Soft, or, again, Red Heart Super Saver pink yarn, and were knit simply. The original pattern was knit flat with 2 seams. It required knitting and purling and no shaping. There was nothing complicated about it. And so the entry level for all of the things that comprise a pussy hat was all very low. Low cost, low learning curve, everything. This hat is knit in Peace Fleece, which is a heavy worsted wool that's $18 a skein. So 3 colors, it's going to cost you $54. And you might be able to get 2 hats out of that. You certainly would be able to get 2 of the joy parts of the hat done. That white is going to go a long way. But $18 a skein for the wool that Michele Woodford used for this hat. Also, intarsia. The pattern calls for knitting 2 colors and twisting the colors in the back and continuing, which is fussy. And finally, you have intarsia letters here, although she does provide instructions and pretty clear instructions with a picture of how to do duplicate stitch, or French darning, French darning, I think is what they call it. And that's what I would do. I would sew that word joy on there after knitting the hat. But the intarsia part of the hat and the cost of the yarn are both barriers, I think. And so I love this hat. I love this idea. I love everything about it except for that. And so I'm going to knit this. And I've purchased yarn today. I went and ordered yarn today from Knit Picks. I've ordered Swish Worsted, which is a merino superwash. I was going to order acrylic. I was going to order their acrylic, but they didn't have the colors that I wanted in that acrylic. By the way, Knit Picks is now having a 25% off sale on everything in the store. And so go to Knit Picks, and if you're watching this, within the time of the sale, go to knitpicks.com and you'll see the instructions. The code is right there. Save Big, I think, is the code. 25% off everything in the store. So you can get some of their acrylics, or even their wools are more reasonably priced. And I bought Swish Worsted in 3 colors, and I decided to use, just looking at the colors, I decided to use a dove gray for the white. They didn't have a cream that I liked. So I did find the red and the blue in, patriotic colors, and then I'm going to use a off-white grayish color for the joy letters. And the difficulty in knitting this, I am going to knit this with this part, knitting this part, and then seaming it. And then I'm going to stitch on the letters, and I am going to do a tutorial on all of that on YouTube. So on this channel, I will do a tutorial on how I made this hat, because I think we have to keep the entry level for how these hats are done very simple. So I will be doing that in the future. And in the meantime, it would be great if you are interested in the construction of these hats. The former pussy hat with the straight top. Many of you have probably already knit one. I did an entire video because I knit in 2016, 2017. I knit probably 10 or 12 different kinds of pussy hats with different yarns. And my daughter and I did a video where I showed the different kinds of construction to how I put these together and what worked and what didn't. So, and including talking about the Missoni hat and how Missoni adopted in 2017 for spring, adopted the pussy hat and did, $190 pussy hats with variegated yarn in the ribbing, and they're beautiful, but they're very expensive. And I talk about that. So that video from 2017 is listed below. And you might be really interested because there are different ways to construct a pussy hat shape like this is. I mean, this is definitely an homage to pussy hat. She mentions it. And so looking at different ways to construct that so that the entry level of skill to make something like this is easy. And I think that's really important. So I'll be doing a tutorial on that. I'm excited about doing that. And in the meantime, enjoy your week, get ready for Cowl-Tober, and have fun knitting. And I hope that if you're watching this and you're going to be on the Grocery Girls cruise, I will see you there. I can't wait to meet you. Thanks. Bye.